Around the Table with Vickie. Just like gathering around the dinner table with loved ones and friends, we're here to share stories, insight, and inspiration.
Well, hello, everyone. We hope you're having a wonderful day. And, Mom, it's that time again. It's another show. Welcome to Around the Table with Vickie. You know the drill. I'm your co-host, Chris Runk, and to my right, as always, is my mother, the star,
No.
Vickie Runk.
The stars are right here today.
That's true. And we're excited, quite honestly, about the folks that are joining us in the studio today. Mm-hmm. They're a dear friend of ours. Mm-hmm. We've got to know them really well over the past 3 or 4 years. And we couldn't be more excited to talk about some community issues that face Bedford County. Mm-hmm. And, you know, who better to talk about them than the local sheriff's office? And today we're joined by Major Wilkes and the man himself, Sheriff Mike Miller.
Oh, welcome, guys. We are so excited to have you here. You know, when we started Around the Table with Vickie and I was meeting with some of the stations, one of the things I really wanted to do was to bring local issues in front of listeners and viewers that they can hang on to, and they're like, hey, I know him, or I remember that issue. And we also want to talk about today how the community can get involved with helping some of our Bedford County kids. And I love, Christopher, to talk about Christmas. You know, Christmas is my favorite time of year. But unfortunately, Major Wilkes, there's a lot in our area that are in need. And so we want to kick this show off before we lose everybody's attention and talk about the children in Bedford County and Bedford County schools. So Major Wilkes, why don't you just tell us a little bit about the numbers this year and what we need to do?
We don't have the numbers this year yet. We will have them by Friday. But looking at last year's numbers and the years prior, we were averaging maybe 250 to 300 children within Bedford County school systems in this county that need assistance at Christmas.
So how can the community help? What are some of the things that you've done? And we've partnered in a lot of other businesses too. Centra, why don't you name off some of your sponsors?
Well, Centra actually jointly does this with us. So it's Bedford County Sheriff's Office and Centra, and then also the other first responder agencies in the county participate by adopting children and trying to raise funds. The biggest thing we need, we have toy boxes out at Walmart in Bedford and different businesses, but cash or check donations are really big for us because we get the list and people put toys in a box and they pick what they think, but the list tells us what we need. So it's easy for us to go out and actually shop for the children with money donations. That helps us out tremendously.
Right.
So we try to get what they want on the list.
Well, of course, that's what Christmas is all about, and we don't want them to be any different. And I think that's a good. So we need donations, and they can write that straight to Bedford County Sheriff's Department. Is that true?
They need to be made payable to BCSO Employee Fund.
Okay, great. So, and if you have any questions about that, you can call the Bedford County Sheriff's Department or go on their website and learn a little bit more about what they do in the community each year. There's probably pictures on there of years past and things like that. We are going to put a box for all of my local families that follow us. We're going to put a box in every Runkin Pratt community, and then we're going to put one at Ivy Hill Golf Course. And Christopher will get you to tell us a little bit about what we do that day and what's coming up for the first time.
Well, it's been a great partnership throughout the even last year. I mean, I was amazed at the need in the community. It's just something that you don't realize right here in Bedford County that, you know, there's roughly 250 kids that may wake up on Christmas morning without a gift.
Correct.
And once I heard that number, that is staggering right here in our hometown. And I mean, if we can, the community get behind, I mean, it's really, when everybody pulls together, it's amazing what we all can accomplish.
That's why it's called community.
That's right.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's been, you know, for out at Ivy Hill, we do a par 3 golf course tournament every year. And it's probably my favorite tournament. It's a short little par 3 tournament. We set it up, you know, you come out and dress up in a Christmas outfit if you want to. I know I do. I put on my Santa sweater and come out and play golf. It's a great time. But just even our local Ivy Hill members, you know, show up in a big way and bring gifts for the children. Seeing our Runkin Pratt seniors, giving them a reason to give, you know, and dropping off, you know, filling those baskets. Last year, we had to bring in even more drop-off baskets because we had so many gifts. And, you know, being able, you were gracious enough to allow us to go deliver the gifts with you all. And what an experience that was. And, the amount of detail, I was blown away by, Major Wilkes referred to, they actually have a shopping list.
Yeah.
They know exactly what these children want Christmas morning, and they're able to go out and get them. And I was blown away by how well it was organized, the impact that it made, the need that was there, and
we actually got to deliver some of them with Major Wilkes. We were blessed to be able to walk into the school system, you, your brother and sister and I, and hand them to the social workers and stuff in schools. And that gave you an even more impactful feeling that this is really real and this is really happening right and under our nose. We talked a little bit about this when I got involved with you guys about how many times at Christmas time we start reaching because it's a time for giving, right? But in our minds, we're thinking we need to write the check to big organizations and maybe even look into third world countries. Right. And it's right here.
Right in our own community.
Yeah. And so I think this year I'm going to ask all my friends and business people to really partner with all of us here, and let's write some checks. And let's bring some toys, and let's come together as a community. But we mentioned that the Par 3 tournament is December the 7th, and let's talk a little bit about what time that starts.
You put me on the spot there. I think we're going to do an 11 o'clock shotgun that morning,
and then that night.
But yeah, we're excited. As you mentioned, Christmas is, in my viewpoint, your most favorite season.
It is.
We put a lot of time, energy, and effort and lugging around Christmas trees this time of the year for all of our senior communities. But we're really excited because out at Ivy Hill, for the first time, and I'm proud to announce, we're going to start the tradition of an annual community Christmas tree lighting.
Awesome.
And we were
How big is the tree?
Well, you bought it.
Right. It's 12 foot by 144. And then we're going to put it on a big stand. And we're having a program that night. It's going to be a production, a show before the lighting. We're hoping that Castle Lighting, John Daggett, partners along with us to light that thing up and maybe put some lights to motion. Those are some names that people in the community are going to recognize. We love John Daggett and Castle Lighting. He does a lot for us on other occasions as well. Jason Schoenfelder with Thomas Road Baptist Church, Executive Director, will be the producer of the show that night. And a lot of local community people will be singing. We're hoping that Jefferson Forest High School Choir or Choral Society will be able to come along with us and do a little music that night, some caroling in the crowds.
We'll have hot chocolate, all the
carriage
food,
rides.
Carriage rides.
With Lexington Carriage Company, all the way over in Lexington, Virginia, coming to help us celebrate Christmas and ultimately the birth of our Lord and Jesus. And so we want the community to, again, we do a lot of things at the golf course for community, but this year is special to us because this will be an annual occurrence. But one of the things we're going to ask our followers and people that come out to support us that night to do is to either write a check, and where do we write it to again, Major Wilkes?
PCSO Employee Fund.
Or bring a toy to get in that night. So all the event is free to the community, but we want you to take the Bedford County Sheriff's Department and Centra, their effort to provide these children Christmas seriously. So that's going to be your contribution for all that we're doing to give to the community for a Christmas tree lighting. There's nothing better than a good Christmas tree lighting to bring Christmas in and people to understand that we can reflect on the year that we just lived. We can be thankful for what God has done. And we most certainly should not and cannot let these children go without Christmas. Now, you mentioned to me about some a food item thing that we can do right here at Thanksgiving as well, Sheriff Miller.
So we also team up with our tow truck companies because there's times in our community when people don't have Thanksgiving dinner. Right here in Bedford County, and that's what law enforcement, public safety is all about, because we meet all of our population, and we know that. And so we've teamed up. This is going on, I believe, our 5th year of teaming up with Department of Social Services, and they find our families for us. And then if we are out in the community and we do it, then we have reference cards that we can send in and let them know that
So if
Everything.
you see a community person,
Yes, ma'am.
when you're doing a wellness check or someone brings
Mm-hmm.
it to your attention that there's a family or an older person
Correct.
in need of a Thanksgiving meal, then you can make a referral.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
So if people are listening to us right now, I just thought of another way to kind of connect here. They can call into you and give you names of people that may need.
That's correct. That's
good.
correct. And in the past, it's been anywhere from 25 to 30 families. And our goal is to make sure when we sit down on Thanksgiving Day that that family that we've just helped is sitting down to the same meal, all the way down to the pumpkin pie.
That's right.
It is what it is. And we want to make sure of that.
Vanilla ice cream.
That's the best part.
Exactly. So that's what we want to make sure, because we know there's families in our community who are still struggling today. So how can we make their holiday as eventful as ours, and the thinking of that? And, when we go out, we get to take the meal to the family. And it's a grateful thing to be able to see and to know that we're not here just as law enforcement. We are here to be able to help our community get back into where they need to be. And
I love that.
Yes.
I mentioned to you the lieutenant governor was sitting right where you sat a week ago, and we talked about law enforcement and how our state government is really doing everything they can to support.
That's right.
And I think it's important that our listeners and viewers take that to heart today, that you're not just out there chasing the bad guys, as you refer to.
Just not writing tickets.
That's right. But you are truly meeting the needs of the community. And so when we have a crisis, the people that you're helping recognize you all as a source of hope,
Right.
and a source of meeting needs. And then that makes the community relationship so much better. So if there is a crisis, they recognize who you are, and they see you as more of a beacon of hope. And I think that's really important to drive home today. I also want to talk about just in general how they would get the money to you for these turkey dinners and things like that. Is it the same fund?
It's the same way.
Okay, let's say it one more time.
BCSO Employee Fund.
Okay.
You're killing that.
You're getting it.
You're getting
That's
that.
really good.
He's getting good at it. Yeah, he does. And then in the memo section, what you would put in there is either for the toy drive or for our Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And that way we can sponsor even more. But even with the toy drive, we are vetted. These families are vetted not only through our social services, but they're vetted through the school system to make sure that these families are truly in need, is what it is. So your sheriff's office does a lot more than people think. We work with the Christmas station to make sure that when families come in to receive stuff from the Christmas station in Bedford, we're there to help pack the cars. We're there to help in any way we can, because we need public safety needs to be seen in the positive light too, and that's the mission from your sheriff's office. Is what it is, to see the positive side of how we try to impact our community.
Well, you're leading by example.
Well, we're trying.
Yeah.
We truly are, and that's part of our mission as a sheriff's office, is to how we can help our community in any way possible.
You mentioned the Christmas
station.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the Christmas station is run in Bedford, and it's been there for many, many years. They also have families that is in need, and they get to come in and shop. And it's down at the old 6C Shopping Center, and it's run by donations. And so they invite us the first, second week of December to come in and help pack cars. So the person will go in, they'll shop with them, and then they're actually in a cart, in a basket, and we'll take it out to the car, and we'll help pack their car for them. So it makes them feel special, in my opinion.
Well, it sounds to me like Bedford County's rocking and rolling with all kinds of ways to make sure that your citizens, our citizens, I'm a Bedford County girl too, have Christmas and have opportunities that they otherwise would not have. And I want everybody to listening to me today, I want you to know that Runkin Pride is going to donate $2,000 to your toy drive, or to the we'll split it up. We'll do food, toys, whatever you want to do with it this year, and then we're going to help you get these toys going and checks coming in. Our toy boxes at each of our facilities and communities and businesses that we own. So I'm going to tell you, it'll be at the Bella Vista Hotel in the lobby there. You can drop it off there. Will be in place by November the 5th. I'm sorry, November the 15th. I got to give the girls time to get all this ready. November the 15th. And then Ivy Hill Golf Course, Ronkonkoma Forest, Leesville, the campus up on Liberty Ridge. And we have a lot of Liberty students that help us now. So we're going to try to get them involved as well. So Pearls of Life. And even up at Smith Mountain Lake, which is in Hardy, Virginia, over there, our big campus over there.
Don't forget Willow Ridge.
Willow Ridge, now that's right. The used to be
Their
Valley View.
Newest community.
Newest community, so it'll have a box over there. And I really want everybody to follow suit. Everybody follow what we're trying to do, because a little bit goes a long ways. And if we group together, then I really do think we can make a difference. It was important to me to get you guys on our podcast and airways early this year so that people aren't scrambling at the end to try to meet the need.
And we thank you for that. We really do. And this is what it's about. It's about the community coming together. And you guys are so supportive of our sheriff's office and our community that we really appreciate it. And wow, you floored both of us with the donation, and we do appreciate it. And
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. It's about coming together. It's about a time when we're coming to a holiday season, and we want to make sure everybody is able to celebrate both holidays and to be thankful.
Well, and I think it even goes past there. The lieutenant governor and I were discussing about the school systems and how the police and the law enforcement is so needed in there, and about all of the officers that's been put, the resource officers, and monies have been put from our state government and our great governor to make sure that our schools are safe. If you guys show leadership in the way that you're doing, then our kids should be able to look to you for just a value, the value in being a good leader and understanding to turn away from crime and drugs, and that there really is a better path. And there's no better example of that than you, Sheriff Miller. You have really served our county well. How long have you been our sheriff?
Well, sheriff since 2020.
Okay.
But I've been with the sheriff's office for 39 years.
Wow.
So I as I tell people, I grew up through the ranks. It's what I ended up doing. And that's the way the leader should be, in my opinion. He or she should grow up through the department and be able to see, know, feel, understand each department in the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
So,
what about you, Major Wilkes? How long have you been?
I've been in law enforcement 27 years and with the sheriff's office 25.
Well, we appreciate your service, guys. We really, really do. On that note, Christopher, why don't you talk a little bit about some of the other things that we're doing with the Sheriff's Department?
Well, Mom, you referenced the school systems.
Yes.
And, Sheriff Miller, you can help me here, but I believe the reignition of the DARE program has happened here in the last 3 years.
It sure has.
And can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I can. So back in, I'm going to date myself here.
That's okay.
Back in the late 80s, early 90s, I was the DARE officer in our school system. And it was an impact that you wouldn't believe. And when I say that, we have children now. Well, they're young adults that have children. And they'll come to me today and go, "Hey, you were my DARE officer, wasn't you?" I'm like, "Well, I think I was." but we'll get to talking, and I was. And that was an impact that's lasted a lifetime with them. So in 2019, when we ran for sheriff, one of the things that I promised is I'm going to bring that program back to Bedford County school system, working with the schools. So we met with them again, showed them the curriculum, figured out how it could go into the SOL testing and different things. And yes, sir, for 3 years, we have done that. And for the last 2, we have again joined with you all.
That's right.
On the Miss Virginia Volunteer.
Yes.
It's what we've done. And that is such a positive impact. Is when those young ladies walk into that class and those schools and do those graduations, and it's not stereotyping just to the girls.
That's right.
The boys too. They love it when they come in and see a positive impact, because what you said earlier is exactly right. It's to show, so when I started running in 2019, one of the things the major and I talked about is, and one of our little quotes was, "Shoot for the moon. The last thing you can do is land on the star.
Ah, I
And
love
the
that.
star is here.
You just said the quote of the day right there.
Yeah, no. But we did that. And I want every child, every human that lives in Bedford County, every person to know that have a dream and see the dream. And don't stop going for the dream, because it is accomplishable. And you can do that. And we need to make sure that as adults, we give them that positive influence in their life. So we started with our school resource officers, and we have them. Now we have 20 school resource officers for 20 schools.
Oh,
It's what we have. Well,
congratulations.
I take that back. We have 2 openings. It's what we have. But it starts from primary school, because in primary elementary school, they get to see that officer, as you so eloquently said. And then they're passed off, if you would, to the middle school resource officer. They know the positive impact, and then they're moved to the high school. So they get to see these officers in a totally different light than they would if they seen them on the side of the road somewhere. And they know the uniform. They know who these officers are, and it's a positive impact that you can make them and you can show them. We have one of our new school resource officers is in an elementary school. She has taught the children how to fold the flag.
Wow.
She's taught the children every morning. She has a group of children that she takes to the flagpole. They raise the flag. They take the flag
And how
down.
important is that today with the lack of patriotism and the way that we have degraded our country for so long, and our little children are watching that.
Correct.
To put that back into the school system. And it also teaches the children to respect the uniform.
Correct.
Which we've lost a lot of that through the last few years as well.
Yes, we have.
I love that story. There's nothing better than to see a young child get excited about the flag.
Exactly. And that's what she's doing. And she's making a really big impact in her school. But it's just not coming in and doing that. We've got the parents on board. We have the school system on board. We have everybody on board, and the children. So everybody, it's the community coming together to make that partnership.
Can you put into reference for our listeners how far things have come from 2020 to now with security in the schools and a better outlook on education and safety all around? Can you give us a report on that?
Yes. Safety in our schools, we do everything we can to make sure that our children are as safe as possible, but they're comfortable too. So it's not like they're going into this place that they're scared to go into. We make it as friendly as possible. Our officers, our deputies are just part of the family now. And that's what you want to do. In 2020, when you just spoke about it, we had a game warden, and his daughter had cancer. So we did T-shirts. And what it was on the back of the T-shirt was a community that prays together, stays together. And that was our theme. And so it worked out in a bunch of different ways, because with that, what went on in 2020 and all, we were able to and people just came in and wanted those T-shirts, is what it was, because it goes to show you we can stick together as a community. And we have done that in Bedford County.
And
we
we've
have stuck
kind
together.
of kept the noise away.
Correct.
All the noise that's around in our world today, to be able to keep this little section just to ourselves
That's right.
is kind of cool.
And it is. But it comes down to the leadership, and it comes down to the community supporting, and we supporting our community is what it is, in my opinion.
Well, I think
and
we
it's
have
working.
some of the happiest families, parents in schools. I mean, I
Correct.
never hear any negative about the Bedford County schools, and the parents seem to be really, really satisfied with what all you guys are doing to keep our students safe.
And it's because of the partnership. Again, it's the community, and the schools are part of the community. The sheriff's office is part of the community, and then the community comes together. And if we can come together and sit down and actually speak and actually talk about something, whatever the topic is, as adults, we should be able to come out with a conclusion. Might not like it and might not agree with it to an extent, but everybody knows the roadmap that we have. And that's the accomplishment. And that's what Bedford County is so strong in supporting that.
How's your workforce? I know I hear that a lot when I'm out in the community is, how many openings there is
Okay.
in different counties. Can you give us an update on that?
Yes, we have 3 openings.
Oh, wow.
So we're 99% full.
Wow.
We're 133 strong is what we are. So well, it's 130, but we have 133.
So anybody interested in
employees.
getting into law enforcement should give you a call as
Yes,
well.
ma'am.
Yeah.
That's right.
3 openings.
3 openings. And if you want to get into it, that's an awesome thing. The major and I run our sheriff's office as a family. It's what we do. And we make sure that everybody knows.
And your wife's a really good cook.
Yes,
hear,
she
too.
is. Chicken salad's pretty good, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It is.
Oh, I love it.
So
I had
she
some
just-
of her desserts at at your fundraiser golf tournament, and they were delicious.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. She'll like
Delicious.
to.
She is
I'll
the
let her know that.
lady behind it all for
She
sure.
is. No,
Love it.
she is. And that's part of the sheriff's office is the family, but also it's the people behind the scenes, and it's our spouses is what it is. Because when we go home, we have to have somebody to talk to. And when you have a strong family, and that's what we want people to know is that the sheriff's office in Bedford County is family oriented, is what it is, but not only in our sheriff's office in those 4 walls, but outside our 81,000 people out here. It's part of our
81,000.
family.
Wow. And I can tell I know I've known you for years,
Yes,
but I
ma'am.
know just sitting here, I mean, I can see it in your eyes. You're
Thank you.
passionate about it. And you truly believe that the state of Bedford County is in much better shape than
Yes,
what
ma'am.
we've been in the past and growing stronger together.
Correct.
What else do we want to talk about, Christopher?
Well, Mama, I just want to say, I know talking about the DARE program
Yeah.
still, how impactful and how proud we were to be able to partner our Miss Virginia volunteer title holders with the Bedford County
Yeah, I
Sheriff's
think I
Office with
actually,
DARE.
when I got
DARE.
the news, screamed yes.
Because we were looking for a really impactful initiative to get those young girls behind and give them, a great community outreach. And
Yeah, and one of the things
whenever we
that-
got that news, I know how
Yeah, I was so
ecstatic
excited.
you are.
Yeah. But one of the things Miss Virginia Volunteer portrays to those students is the opportunity for education and scholarship.
Correct.
So the whole Miss Virginia Volunteer franchise that I'm involved with, the only reason I got involved in it is because I was going to be able to, number one, mentor 3 to 4 state title holders and hopefully change their lives. And they ultimately end up changing mine.
Correct.
And they certainly keep me busy. I never rest when they're around, but I'm always held to a high
Exactly.
standard there. But they also are trying to have a higher achievement for their lives. A lot of them, the gal that we have now is going on to law school, and I know she's going to make an impactful splash one day in politics or criminal law or real estate law. She is just hot on it, and I'm so excited for her. But she won $10,000 of scholarship the night she won. Then Liberty gave her $10,000, so she's actually working on a 3rd degree online, and she's just doing a fabulous job. So you put somebody like that in front of students, and they're modeling that values
That's right.
based lifestyle
Yes, ma'am.
of leadership,
That's it.
and I think that's what's so impactful.
Me too.
And the commitment that these girls are coming into these kids on a regular basis.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And that
It,
they
it
care.
really is. But when they walk into those schools, it just changes the atmosphere. And then when they have one-on-one with each class, and then at the DARE graduations, they come in with that positive impact, and it leaves an impression. It's what it does. I know with Centerfest in Bedford, and you guys, those ladies come up there with us, and you can just see the kids, not only the children, but the adults and the smiles that come on their face when they walk through the crowd, and we give out, you guys give
Right.
out different trinkets and treasures, and it's just a positive impact. And that, I think, is what we're missing in our
Right.
communities right now, is the positive
Absolutely.
impact. And how can we do that?
Some of our girls have traveled over 20,000 miles all over the state of Virginia and put in hundreds and almost thousands of hours in volunteerism. And I see them in the food banks all over the state of Virginia, not just here locally, because our girls are all over the state. I see them. I personally have been in several Salvation Armies, from here to Columbus, Georgia, to Roanoke, to the trafficking center down there. And I personally have gotten, because I'm tagging along with our state title holders, a whole new outlook on Salvation Army and what they do and the goodness behind it. And so I think if we just get off the couch a little bit and do a little volunteer work,
Yes, ma'am.
we'll see that America is still the greatest land there is, and
Amen.
that there's a lot of really good people out
Yes,
there.
there is.
Yeah.
Well, Major Wilkes, Sheriff Miller, thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thank y'all for having us.
Major Wilkes, hit us with that line one more time where they can write those checks.
And make them to a BCSO employee fund. And I would like to add one other thing. If you want to bring, our boxes will be at the sheriff's office, the police department in town, and also at Walmart and any county office. You can stop by and put something in the box.
That sounds great. Okay.
Well, Mom, as always, we like for you to end each show with a quote, and I know you got a special one in store for us today.
Well, this is a simple one, folks, but it's really powerful. There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. And I love that. I've loved having you guys here today. Please go out and support the Bedford County Sheriff's Department. Give your monies, make sure it counts. Drop off the toys. Let's surround them with our support. And right here in Bedford County, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't even have to go search on the internet where to give or how to give. We've just provided it several times. Until next time, I'm Vickie Runk, right around the table.